This is the recap of UFC Fight Night, Bermudez versus Korean Zombie. Sorry if I sound like I'm trying to be quiet or anything, or if I'm like whispering a little bit. There's people sleeping here, but it was a great card. It's always these cards that seem to be very lackluster. They don't have the biggest names, so people don't watch them, right? This was a very good card. A lot of knockouts. Khalil Roundtree in on Fight Pass. Oh my God. What can you say about Khalil Roundtree? He's got some real power. Those knees came out of nowhere. I thought he was a down opponent at first, but when the replay came up, that was really impressive. Those are very precise knees. He's still young, so he can be a rising prospect for the light heavyweight division. I'm very excited to see him in the future. Marcel Fortuna, what he did was really impressive. He's a light heavyweight, but he's actually a kind of he's not a big light heavyweight, and he knocked out Anthony Hamilton viciously, who's a big heavyweight. That was impressive. He had a very good game plan in that fight. Chess Kelly is someone to watch out for. He's very wild and he's really exciting. He's very dangerous everywhere. He's developing a stand-up game now that people have to respect. And he's another prospect of the featherweight division. And I can't wait to see him fight later. And then you had the the Alexa Grasso and Felice Herrig fight. I didn't really expect much of this fight. I know Grasso has a lot of hype behind her, but she wasn't as aggressive as usual. Felice Herrig was landing that overhand right constantly, over and over again. Grasso would always leave her chin up. Like she never used head movement at all. She would try to block everything, but her left hand would always lower. Every time that Felice Herrig came in, her left hand would lower, created an opening for the overhand right. Very simple mistake. It could be easily fixed. You know, Grasso's still young. It seemed like Grasso underperformed compared to her last fights. If you look at the third round, Grasso turned it up and she rocked Herrick in the final round. And where was that the whole fight, you know? Why didn't she just go? Why didn't she just pull the trigger more often? It's a simple mistake. She can grow from it. She'll learn from this. But yeah, the Grasso Herrick fight wasn't too great. It wasn't what it was built to be. As a co-main event, I think the Andrade versus Hill fight should have definitely been the co-main. And that fight was crazy. Definitely fight of the night. That was crazy. Andrade and Hill. I was surprised that Hill was able to stand and take all of those shots. I mean, Andrade is a powerhouse. She's a mini cyborg. She's tough for anybody in that division. And I was worried throughout the fight that she was going to gas out, but she never really did. She's able to explode and explode and explode and chase and be aggressive for 3 full rounds and not lose pace. That is impressive. And that's going to be tough for Joanna to fight. Andrade has to fight Joanna. That's what it has to happen. I think this will be Joanna's most dangerous challenge. I know Claudia was tough for her, but she's not as dangerous as Andrade. And Andrade can finish Joanna. She can pressure Joanna like no one else can. And she doesn't stop either. And she has real power. And she's very strong in the clinch. And she has a grappling advantage. So that'd be interesting. And Angela Hill, I'm glad to see Hill back. She looked much better than before. Her time away from the UFC was very well for her. She came back against one of the top contenders and fought toe to toe with her. Even though she lost every round, she was never really outmatched. The St. Preux, and I don't know how to pronounce that guy's name, and I'm going to try. It wasn't too good of a fight. I honestly thought St. Preux won that fight, but it was close. The Trujillo and Vic fight, solid fight. It was a decent fight. Vic came up with that flying knee. He hits everybody with that flying knee. It's very dangerous for a 6'3" lightweight. That's rare, and that's very dangerous. I've always put more notice on James Vick. I can't wait to see where he goes next. And then the main event, you have Dennis Bermudez and the Korean Zombie. Wow. I was very nervous for Korean Zombie. 3.5 year layoff. He came back in vintage form almost. He looked a little sloppy at first. He looked a little bit out of the norm at first. He got caught early by Dennis Bermudez, got rocked, but we all know about the Korean Zombie's chin. Very hard to put that guy away. And if you do hit him, be prepared to take some leather back. So he's a very fun fighter to watch. He's a fan favorite. And I was very impressed with his takedown defense because he's always had that weakness, even against a guy like Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo was able to take him down very easily. And Bermudez is actually a pretty solid wrestler, and he stopped all of his takedowns, which is very impressive. And he almost got one against the cage with that trip. He is super aggressive in the clinch, super aggressive everywhere. And then that slip to the uppercut, that was beautiful. That was precise as can be. It put Dennis Bermudez out cold, and Bermudez is a tough guy. And put him out in the first round. That's crazy. There's another win for the ring rust deniers right there. 3.5-year layoff. Dennis Bermudez, he didn't like the pressure. He didn't like Korean Zombie going forward on him the whole time. So he would throw that jab kind of like a way to like get off me kind of thing. And Korean Zombie timed it. Boom, just beautiful uppercut. I cannot wait to see what happens with the Korean Zombie. He just beat the number 9 ranked, and he was like number 5 when he left for the military duty in South Korea. I have to imagine he's going to be somewhere around the top 5. I think they'll rank him 5 or 6. Not too far from a title shot. Not too far. If he keeps fighting like this, he's going to be very tough to beat. And he's going to put on some great fights later on. I would love to see the Korean Zombie fight Cub Swanson next. Look at the fight that Cub Swanson just came off. And imagine him fighting Korean Zombie. That would be insane. Yeah, there's great night of fights. Really exciting. I'm never going to miss these cards where they look like lackluster. They don't have the bigger names. I'm never going to really miss these because most of them have really outperformed what the expectations. That is my recap to this card. Tell me what you guys think about the card. Did you guys enjoy it? What do you think about the Korean Zombies win? What do you think about what's next for Jessica Andrade? And if she does fight, you want to know how that fight play out. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video.